I have a question, Stuart. It's Christine. You tell the story of Rudy when he was young, had kind of holy people or teachers sitting in the palms of his hand teaching him or appearing to him. How can we in our lives either use those chakras in our hands or call in the other teachers we need uh, that
I
we don't
don't
know?
understand your question. What is your question?
Rudy used to see teachers in his hands when he was young. How can we call in things to us besides our meditation practice in terms of other beings or teachers or things that come through? What's the best way to do that?
There's no best way to do that, Christine. When you're ready, those teachers will come. Rudy first had these experiences when he was 6 years old. There were these Tibetan Rinpoches that came. They would sit on his hands. They would teach him. He was ready. I mean, there's no way of calling them. You have to be. You have to develop inside yourself where you're ready to receive them. If you don't develop that way, well, it becomes a false illusion. So, you know, so what's the answer?
Keep working.
Yeah, I mean, look, uh, if higher powers think you need them, they will be there to nurture you. Come. But you got to be ready for that. You have to build a system that's really committed to getting enlightenment in this lifetime. Otherwise, it's just bullshit. You know, you have to have a system inside that truly makes the commitment. I am going to get my enlightenment in this lifetime. I'm going to do whatever I have to do. I'm not going to do it in my own terms. I'm going to do it in God's terms of whatever I have to do to get my spiritual enlightenment. If you make that kind of commitment, all these, whatever cosmic teachers are there, I mean, they came to me and Kala Rinpoche and this one and that one, they came. I was ready to receive what they had to teach. They come to me now. Nityananda comes all the time. But I'm ready to receive. My commitment is real. The work I do in my life is real. I'm not sitting in the grace of any guru. I am doing the work that I have to do to serve God. So these energy forces come. But if you don't make that kind of commitment, forget about it. You can't have enlightenment in your own terms. It doesn't work. You have to have it according to God's terms. And then, you have to be open enough and big enough inside to recognize when these terms are given to you, these cycles are given to you, and then take advantage of it. Then they will send everything you need to grow spiritually. I mean, it's something I've been talking about a lot lately. And I think it's such a truth that I can't stop talking about it. And that's the fact that spiritual energy is a really pure energy. I mean, there's no right or wrong, there's no good or bad, there's no polarity in spiritual energy. People are so convoluted and complicated inside themselves in terms of active minds and emotions and sexual energy that when this pure energy enters them, it becomes not pure anymore. It's like pouring fresh water into a dirty pool pond. It's not fresh anymore. And that's the problem with people, that they haven't done the work on themselves so that when that energy comes into them, what manifests is love, it's compassion, it's kindness, it's goodness. It's the power to use their inner life to gradually and really incrementally get closer to a state of enlightenment. I mean, this is a covenant that every human being eventually has to make with God to do the work that allows that energy to guide their life. Otherwise, everybody I know, practically everyone, does a spiritual life in their own terms. But God's terms. And I don't know what my terms are. I've been doing it for the last 50 years in God's terms, doing things that I don't particularly want to do, but I do them because they are helping me to grow. They are allowing me to serve a higher energy force in the universe. So, I mean, that's a very real thing. And it's a thing that is deeply disturbing because you look out at the entire human race lives that way, doing it in their own terms. And then what you have here is an insane asylum, you know? Everybody is righteously opposed to everybody else because their thinking is a little bit different. Instead of opening to learn from, in one of my tantric things, I call it to learn from the communal soul, what one has to do every day to grow and to be a servant of God, servant of higher energy in the universe. Then they come in abundance to serve you, to help you, to teach you, to meanwhile, everybody has this extraordinary meditation that Rudy left us. Use it. It'll get you to the place I'm talking about. Does anyone else have a question they would like?
Stuart,
Thank you,
I have a
Stuart.
question. Bob Fink.
Yes, Bob?
Can you explain a bit more about God's terms? Or is it different for each person or the same for
No, it's different for every human being. It wasn't, look, it's been so different for me the way Rudy lived his life and the way I lived my life, and I have lived my life. It was very different the way Nityananda lived his life and Rudy lived his life. My God, the differences were like the size of a football field. So, it's unique. Each person is unique. And again, that energy is pure. When it enters the system of a human being, if a person is really pure inside, if they really have done the work to learn how to love unconditionally, to learn how to live with compassion, kindness, to learn how to use sexual energy to transform the human to the spiritual. They've learned all this stuff in their life. That energy flows through them. And the way they communicate with the world is with compassion, with love, with empathy, and the way they communicate with themselves is the same way. And yet each human being is unique. So no two people can live their life exactly the same way. And all of us have to respect that. That the way we live is not the right way for everybody else to live. I mean, everybody can do this meditation. Thousands of people can sit here in this class, each receiving the energy. It will manifest in each and every person's life a different way. Completely unique way. So it's not about the energy, it's about how it manifests in a person's life. I mean, people that don't do any kind of meditation are still being fed by higher energy, or they wouldn't be alive. and it manifests in a totally different way. Just because their inner life is, muddled and convoluted and conflicted and depressed and angry and this and that, that's how it manifests. That's how they see the world. But everybody is different, and that's what makes it wonderful. If everybody was the same, what a bore this world would be, The fact that every single human being is a complete, unique manifestation of God's energy makes life really interesting. Everybody has something to teach everybody else. And yet, all of us sitting here, we're doing this meditation practice. It won't manifest the same for any two people sitting here. Each of us is unique. We need energy. Look, there are 1,000 different varieties of cars on the road. They all need gas in order to go. Without gasoline, they don't go. They need oil in order to function properly. We need Shakti. We need energy. But a Cadillac is not like a Ford, and a Ford isn't like a Mini, and a Mini isn't like a Maxi. They're all different. But they all need gasoline or electricity or some kind of energy so they can move. People are the same way. I hope this is clear, because it's really important stuff, this stuff, I talk about it a lot, but a lot of my talk is based on questions that people ask. And it requires repeating this over and over again.
Stuart, I have a question. It's Wendy.
Yes, Wendy.
My mother has dementia and a lot of other things going on, and I'm the only person in her life, really, as far as caretaking. And I'm finding that I was able to handle it, but I'm getting more and more exhausted. And I'm trying to balance her neediness with staying sane and everything else I've gone through. So I just wondered, how do I maintain my compassion for her and yet save myself?
Look, Wendy, if you do what you just asked that you want to do by going deep in yourself, connecting with the Shakti, the energy, building a strong chakra system, you'll come out of this experience on a remarkable level. I mean that. Yes, when people are leaving the world, they're dying, they get sick, very difficult. It's harder on the people that take care of them than the people dying, much harder. Well, you know that, what you went through for an entire year, But you came out of that with Pingo. I couldn't believe it when I saw you. You were just glowing. It just opened my heart so deeply because you went through that thing and you really grew because of it. Now you have maybe even a more difficult situation with your mother. Go through it and use it to get closer to your spiritual enlightenment, your growth. Go deeper in yourself to get the energy. Every time you get upset, just forgive her. Forgive her. And she is there to teach you this. And I think if you go through this the way you went through with Pingo, God bless. There's going to be light coming out of you. It's going to shine 1,000 miles away, dear. And your mother is there to teach you that you have to love her unconditionally and get strong enough to deal with it, and to deal with it with an open heart, with profound love, with caring. She's here to serve you this way. And why you or anyone else has to go through this, that's beyond my understanding. But everybody does. Everybody does in one way or another has to go through this kind of thing.
Thank you, Stuart.
You're welcome, dear. Keep growing. I mean, I'm telling you, when I saw you after 20 years, I couldn't believe my eyes. You look so beautiful. And it was only because of what you went through and how you grew because of it that created this, I mean, really extraordinary person. Keep growing. Let your mother teach you how to do this, okay?
She's a little different than Pingo, but I'll do my best.
Well, it's much different,
180.
Yeah. But, I mean, also one on top of the other is no treat. But
Yeah.
calm is karma. What are you going to do? You got to grow.
Yeah.
Does anyone else have a question?
Stuart, it's Brad.
Yes, Brent.
Is there a way to best utilize working with a photo of your teacher?
I don't understand.
In working with a photo of either you or Rudy or Nityananda, is there a best way to utilize that experience of working with a photo as opposed to you being right there?
Well, it's always more powerful when teacher's there. Even like the retreats I do and in-person classes they're much more powerful. This is pretty strong stuff here. But those sessions are much more powerful than even the Zoom stuff that we do. And this is pretty strong stuff that goes on here. Your teacher lives in your heart. If you sit with a picture of your teacher, just open your heart, your teacher will be there with you, providing all the Shakti you need to grow and to help you in your life. That's where you'll find your teacher. That's where Rudy lives in me. That's where Nityananda lives in me, my heart. And it's an endless amount of Shakti, especially when you get to a place where your just heart stays open. And then those teachers are always there guiding you, providing love, providing Shakti, providing energy. So just not a picture, You're looking at somebody that lives in your heart. Mm-hmm. Open your heart. We'll find them and they will guide you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Does anyone else have a question? I just have a few announcements to make. One of them is I've been announcing all week, I need a vacation. I need to take a week and not do this. Okay, it'll be better for everybody here if I take a week and not do this. I really mean it. I'm really tired and I need a break. So I'm going to take a week. The next class will not be this Monday, but next Monday. Secondly, I'm thinking seriously about doing a retreat every month. Like in August, there's going to be 18 people have signed up. There's a full house. I can't take any more. And I don't want to do one in September, but in October, there's another retreat. There's already 11 people that have signed up. And there's, maximum of 18 people. And then in November, I would like to do a retreat where there will be maybe 6 to 8 people come, just for my own ability to survive doing a retreat every month. Have a smaller number. And the first people, if the people want to do that and they want to come to that, the first 6 people that signed up will be the people that come. First 6, 7 people that sign up will be the people that will come. I want to do this. I want to experiment for a lot of reasons. One, I want to have more in-person sessions. I want to have more classes like that. I want to have more intense classes. The growth is really much stronger. So I want to do that. And everybody who comes to these things will benefit. So as I said, there are two things I got to take a vacation. And then I want to, do retreats once a month. We'll see if it works. If it doesn't work, fine. We'll just continue doing what we're doing. But it's an opportunity for people to grow and for us to do more in-person sessions. And hopefully eventually to get away from this Zoom, to do always just in person. But I don't know how that's possible. The people are sitting here from all over the world, but we'll see what happens. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? Okay, well, God bless you, and I'm looking forward to seeing you when I come back from my vacation. It's a very funny word in my vocabulary, vacation. I don't think I've ever taken one. I did, well, maybe I did. I went to Europe a while back, but it's kind of a funny word when I get to vacation. All right, God bless you all, and thank you. And thank you all for being my teacher, for being here, for being instrumental in a lot of growth on my own part and on your part. And I'm looking forward to seeing everybody when I get back. Bless you. Thank you.
Have a wonderful rest.
Have a great vacation.
Sure. Have a great time.
Thank
Yeah, have fun.
you. Thank you.
Hey,